Ashwini?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, who are the teachers joined?
So we have a few teachers who have joined, and the two resource person, Mr. Brendan and Varun Kamath.
Okay. So what time you are starting now?
So we'll start.
Okay.
Good morning, students. I, Assistant Professor Ashwini Devari from Department of Management Studies, welcome you all for this session on career prospects after BBA and BBA Financial Service. So this session basically will give you a clarity on different career paths that are available, career options that are available after you pursue your BBA Financial Service and BBA. So I request our principal, Professor Sanjay Desai, to to give a welcome address.
Okay, ready?
Yes,
How
sir.
many participants we have?
So we have around 65 participants.
67, including me. No, 67. Snehal has joined?
So we have joined from single laptop.
Only one laptop?
Me and Omkar.
We are in, okay, and Snehal?
Snehal is there, sir, here.
Snehal?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
So because of the limit, all have not joined, sir.
Okay,
only
okay. Okay, I welcome you all. Special welcome to resource person. Today's resource person will brief us, our students, about the different opportunities in BBA and who is giving programs structure and all. Anyone briefing about program structure?
So program structure briefing we have already done to students.
Okay. So, okay, I welcome all the students who have shown interest in this Damodar College BBA program. So, your online admissions registration will start from 10th of, most probably 10th, and then you have to do online registration. So, before that, our two resource person will guide you about the opportunities in BBA program and what next when you join, and what are the subjects also. So once again, I welcome you all. I welcome all teachers also of Damodar College who are present for this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So the first speaker we have is Mr. Brendan Mascarenas. He is certified financial planner and a CFA charter holder. Sir has a working experience of 3 years in an institute like JP Morgan and ICICI Wealth Management. Currently, Mr. Brendan runs his own financial planning institute. So I request Mr. Brendan to please take over.
Yeah, good morning, students. Hope you're all fine. So I'll just give a brief as to, in addition to whatever she also said, I'll just give a brief as to my career, and I'll also touch on what aspects you all can expect after doing a BBA in financial services. So for me, what happened is I did my engineering. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't get a career session like this. So what I was told, my career counseling was, if you do your mechanical engineering and you do your MBA in operations, you're the king. That was my career counseling, and unfortunately, that is what I did. But I didn't know what sort of king they were talking about. So I did my mechanical engineering. Then I went on to do my MBA because I hated engineering. So then my engineering I did in operations, but fortunately I got placed in JP Morgan to do an internship, and that is where I fell in love with finance. Right, I fell in love with finance, and when I came back to my MBA, I did only financial finance subjects. Then I went on to work with JP Morgan for 2 years, and I was doing mostly operations, financial operations. But then I did not like the entire financial operations. I wanted to meet with clients, and talk to them about their finances. So then I moved to ICICI Wealth Management, and after a year, I started off my own company. Right. So that's just a brief about me. I'll just touch on what can you all expect after doing a BBA in finance. So the various options that you'll have. One is being a financial analyst. in being a financial analyst, what you can do is you'll get data. You'll have to analyze the data, projections of companies, and making investment recommendations. This is a very difficult profile to get into. You may need another certification like a CFA to become a financial analyst. Right. The second option that you have is investment banking, working with corporations and governments on mergers and acquisitions and raising capital. So this is what I was doing in JP Morgan, but just like I did an MBA, and because of that, I could get into this kind of a profile. And what I would work on is working with multinational corporations, how to raise money. They all have requirements to build certain things, and they have a lot of things that they want to do. But when they need money, they need the bank, right? And that is where you would come in. The third option is corporate finance. Corporate finance is managing finances within a company. So supposing there's a company who's catering to a certain market. Say they want, say HUL, they want to sell products. How do you manage the finances? What are the budgets? What are the forecasting? How much of projections do you expect? Given the past demand. So all those kind of projections and all you would be doing if you have like a BBA in finance. The fourth option that you have is more on the banking side, that is risk management. To do this, like to go to a higher level, you need to do something called an FRM, or risk management course, assessing and mitigating financial risk for organizations. Basically, whenever a bank wants to lend out money, they look at the CIBIL score and all of that to see how much of risk they can take given the clients that they already have, right? So you would help assessing that risk, whether you should actually give a loan to a particular individual or to a company. The next one is financial planning. That is what I'm currently doing. So investment banking is what I was doing. Now I'm doing financial planning, helping individuals and families, family offices, with investment strategies, retirement planning, in wealth management, tax planning, insurance planning. So all of that comes into financial planning. Then we move on to accounting. The last two is accounting. That is managing the accounts of a company. For example, there are various people who run their own companies. For example, a vet or a doctor or a lawyer. They have to manage their books of accounts to ensure that they are in compliance with the regulations of the place. So all of those things is something that you would be doing to manage their books. And the last is consulting. That also pays a lot, advising businesses on financial strategies, how to manage their operations, optimization. So these are basically all that you have with sorry. Okay. These are all the options that you have after doing a BBA. Once you do a BBA in finance, that means that means anything in finance related, you can obviously get hired. The second option that you have apart from this is to do an MBA, become a master's, right? And that is the option what many people do. Like to do an MBA, you'll have to obviously answer CAT. That is what even I did. I did engineering, and then I went to do an MBA. And after you do an MBA, you can choose a specialization and go to that kind of a domain. But in my opinion, what would be the best thing for you to do is to do your BBA in finance, especially if you all are interested in finance. In my opinion, like I shouldn't have done engineering. I should have done a BBA in finance. Why I'm saying that is because with a BBA in finance, you have an entry level of general understanding of the entire financial domain. But just a BBA is not going to help you too much. Just a BBA, you'll get into all these profiles that I've said. You'll get at a very entry level, and you'll have to really work your way up. What I would suggest is do your BBA in finance from Damodar itself, but also do an additional course in addition to your BBA in finance. That would be the best. Now, what course do you do? Now, what you need to do if you're interested in finance, you need to find out what area of finance you're really interested in. Now, finance is a huge domain. There are many things. There are thousands of things in finance, but you have to select. Now, every domain in finance has like a gold standard certification, and if you master that certification, you will be the key guru of that entire domain. For example, if you want to be the master of taxation in India, you do your CA. If you want to be a guru of taxation in the world, and you do like a CMA or something of that sort, the US CA equivalent. So you choose which domain you want to. Now, which are the domains? Taxation is one. If you want to be the tax specialist, do your CA. You can do your BBA as well as do your CA and ensure that BBA will ensure you know everything in finance. Your CA will ensure you know taxation in depth. So taxation is one. The next one is investment management. That is a CFA. CFA would be the best course if you're interested in stock markets. You're interested in stocks and investments and all of that. So I am a CFA, and it's so that is one degree that you can do. In Goa, there are just 10 CFAs who are currently operational in Goa. That's why it is a very difficult course to do. But the only thing why people don't do much, I'll come to CFA a little later. I'll explain to you all the others. So stock markets do a CFA, right? Then there's financial planning. If you want to be if you want to help people manage their finance, help them to invest in mutual funds, help them to manage their insurance, help them to manage also their personal tax, not in-depth tax like a CA, but just normal ATC and all of those taxations, managing the emergency fund. Then you have to do something called CFP, Certified Financial Planner, right? The next one is if you want to do risk, like I told you about the risk management, there's a job. So if you want to do that, then you do your FRM, specializes in risk management. And the last one, then if you want to do costing, there's a course on cost management. And if you want to focus on alternative investments, there's chartered alternative investment analysis, right? Now, what happens is these courses are very in-depth. And what happens is even a CFA, there are so few CFAs, in the world, there are only about 2,000. In Goa, there are just 10, The number of people who actually complete their CFA in one go is about 4%. So only 4 out of 100 people who started actually completed. And why is that? That is mainly because when you do a CFA, people are already pretty older. They do it after they start their job. And when you do your job, you don't get time. Like any person, like for example, me, when I started my CFA, I was at JP Morgan. I didn't get time, but I managed to do it. You have to do a lot of hard work to ensure you can manage a job and this. Then I joined ICICI. Then I got married. I had a kid. And having all during my CFA and to manage all these responsibilities becomes very difficult. That's why many people don't actually go ahead and complete it. But if you're doing your CFA now, when you're doing your BBA, you can understand everything in finance and also go in depth into the area which you would really like to. And actually, CFA is very simple if you give it enough time. And people don't have time to do it. That's why they don't actually complete it. But if you're at this age, if you'll do a CFA, y'all would be like gems in the market. Everyone would want to have you, right? So my suggestion is, if you're interested interested in finance, y'all need to just sit with yourself and ask which area of finance you would like to specialize in. And another way of doing that is in the first year of your BBA finance, you really study all the areas of finance and really try to understand which area is that area which really interests you. And maybe in the second year of your BBA, you can look at starting a certification in any one of these courses. And then by the time you finish your BBA, you would have a BBA, which is a great degree to have. And you will have an expert certification that you're an expert in this domain. And then you can obviously go on to do your MBA, or you can start working. Even a BBA with this kind of certifications is enough, because what happens is, I don't tell people to, just after the bachelor's, go and start working. But if you have a bachelor's and you have like a certification like this, you can definitely start working. Because what happens is, with a BBA, if you enter the entire industry with just a BBA, yes, you may not get a great salary. You may. I'm not sure about how much like you'll get, but I'm assuming about 20 to 25,000 is what if you just start as an entry level of 15 to 25,000. But what I have observed, is when you do your BBA or when you do an MBA, when you do an MBA from a really good college, you can even start with about 1 lakh. But with a BBA, you will start with about 25,000, but with an MBA, start with about 1 lakh. But what matters is the degree will only take you to the first job with the first salary. The remaining career of yours, your increments, how well you get promotions and all of that, all depends on whether you have a skill that the company wants or not. if you do your BBA and you just enter, but you have a really good hold on understanding the markets, understanding how to analyze a stock, if you, or for example, take any domain, I said there are so many domains, say investment banking. If you do just a BBA, but you know like how merger and you know the technical things of everything of merger and acquisition, you have a skill which no one else in your company has, then you'll start with say 15,000, but your jumps will be like 15,000, you'll get 100% increment, which is even possible if you're really that good. And someone who's starting with a BBA with a really good skill, like who has also who has also done his CFA and is starting at 25,000 or starting at 20,000 versus someone started with 1 lakh. If you look at them at 5 years, this person will reach about 4 lakhs. This person will reach 3 lakhs because he just has an MBA with no actual knowledge, right? So what I'm trying to say is that like just a BBA will not give you the best salary, but if you do your BBA in the right way, like just don't go to do your BBA just because you're forced into it, just because you didn't get somewhere else, so you did your BBA. If you go to do your BBA from Damodar, which is a really good course in terms of it offers you all the possible finance options that you have. It can give you all the avenues, as to if you are genuinely interested in finance, you need to know which part of finance you want to really specialize in. And for that reason, I feel that the BBA course would be the best, so that you can see everything. In your first year, you don't go to do time pass. You go to just ensure that you really focus on what you want to do your next certification in. So you do your first year, you study everything properly, then you go on to do whichever certification you are, and then after you complete your BBA and you do a BBA in finance and a particular certification, then I can tell you truly that you are a king, because you are the king of that domain. And everyone, because the companies need all these profiles, but if you just do your BBA, you are a generalist, and in the world today, people don't like generalists as much as they like specialists, but if you do your BBA with this specialization, you'll be a generalist, because with a BBA, you'll know everything. And in addition to that, you will be a specialist in that particular domain, right? So that is what I feel, and I'll just give you since I've done my CFA, I'll just give you a brief of over the next 5 minutes. I'll just give you a brief of what the CFA is about, what topics it has, and what entails the CFA, right? And this, I'm telling you, a CFA is a beautiful degree, and it only requires a lot of rigor. Like for me, what I would do is I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would study for 2 hours and then go to work and come back, sleep early so I can get up at 4 o'clock. But if that is very difficult to manage when you're working. But if you do your BBA now and you do your CFA with that, I mean, you can do your BBA in the first half and then you have the entire evening. Or like a college is not so rigorous as a working environment, right? A working environment is a full day. Plus there's work, you have to work overtime also. So many people nowadays, earlier CFA would not allow people who have not completed their bachelor's or master's to actually do the CFA. They would allow only after you finish the master's. But now they have allowed, so you all have a golden opportunity to do your CFA while you're doing your BBA in finance, right? So what is CFA? CFA has 3 levels, okay, and they have the same they have 10 topics, right? They have the same 10 topics in all 3 levels. Each level they just go deeper into the topic. The topics would be financial statements, equity, understanding of fixed income, that is debt and all of that, alternatives, corporate finance, ethics. These are all there are other topics also. They focus on the entire investment universe. So level 1. And the good thing is the cost of the course is a bit high. Each level you'll have to pay about 1 lakh. Okay, and very rarely do people pass in one attempt. Like I told you, it's just 4%. So it's very difficult to pass in one attempt, and that is because you don't have time. Yeah, so make use of your time very well, and if you can do it, you can also get a scholarship. If you apply for a scholarship, you can also get that. You have to write to the CFA to apply for a scholarship. So if you get that, only then will it reduce slightly. right? So level 1 is slightly easier. Whatever you're studying in your BBA, most of the stuff is also there in the level 1. So if you study the CFA very well, you will also do well in your BBA, right? Then level 2 is a little more difficult. So maybe in your later part of your BBA, you'll have to give more time to your CFA and your BBA. You'll have to manage both. And if you do that, if you do like your CFA and BBA, and then you go to a company, the company will really look at you as a person who knows how to manage their time very well, who knows in depth of finance really well, right? So that is something that you can really look at. And then level 3 goes into level 3 is more of, even written. There's a written section, in the sense that not written, but you have to type it in the computer, and it mostly focuses on portfolio management. How do you manage a portfolio? So what I have done is I have done my CFA, and in addition to that, I've done my CFP. CFP is focused on personal financial planning. So what I do with my clients is I take income, expenses. So I have some managing a portfolio of about 14.5 crores, and I have about 96 clients to be precise. So for them, what I do is I take their income, their expenses, their asset, their liabilities, and their goals, and then I design a financial plan for them. I start with emergency fund planning, I go for insurance planning, then I go for retirement planning, investment planning, and tax planning. So all of these things I learned in a CFP. So if you're interested in that, then you do a CFP. So that is so to conclude this entire session that I've taken, is that the BBA in finance, if you're interested in finance, then it would be the best option, because you get an entire view of finance, and after the first year you'll get a view of the entire financial industry. You get to see all the domains, taxation, cost accounting, uh, stock markets, financial planning, alternative investments. You get to see everything. So once you see everything in the first year, my recommendation to you is really take the course very seriously, because it's a really beautiful course. Really take it very seriously, and realize which domain you want to specialize in, and then become the master in that domain. That will be a generalist and a master of one domain. And trust me, if like many people, like for me, what happened in my life, no one told me about these things. I found out these things only after I did my second year of MBA. So after I finished my second year of MBA, and when I went to JP Morgan, I was exposed to the entire financial world. I didn't get an opportunity to see all the domains in finance and see which one I would like. I had to go and I had to go to Pharmaguடி in GC in Goa Engineering College, and I had to study about cars and all of those other things, which I did not like. But and then after that I did my MBA, and then after that I found out what I liked, but then it was too late. Then I had to do my job in JP Morgan and simultaneously struggle and do a certification. But you all are at a point where, if you all are interested in finance, you all are at the best place that you possibly can. A person who has done like a BBA and this is much better equipped. It will earn much more money than a person who has done like an MBA. Because an MBA at the end of the day is not a specialist, and MBA is a generalist. Unless an MBA really does an MBA and then focuses on one domain and stays in that domain, only then he'll earn a salary which is as good as yours. So my suggestion to you all is, in life, don't be generalists, be specialists. And in BBA, the first year you'll get a chance to be a generalist, and then make sure that you specialize in one particular domain which you really like. And trust me, if you do one thing really well, and you do it better than anyone in the world, if you just focus on one thing very well, everyone will want to employ you. You'll earn the most amount of money. It was said that there's this one person in a taekwondo battle. He only learned one move, just one move to kick his opponent. He just practiced one move a million times, and he still won the competition, because just that one move practiced a million times is better than learning everything but all half-heartedly. Yeah. So I think at 10:30, I think I'll come to a conclusion to that. Any questions anyone wants to ask? Or Over to you, Ashwini.
So in case there are any questions, we can take it at the end of the session. Okay. Thank you, sir, for giving insights on career prospects available after completing BBA Financial Service. So the second speaker we have today is Mr. Varun D. Kamath Timble. He is an HR professional with working experience in various industries such as electronics, mining, metals, and manufacturing. Areas of interest include organizational design, planning, talent acquisition and management. Sir has worked as a deputy manager HR at IFB, presently working as an HR manager at HFCL Limited Goa. So I request Sir Varun to please take over.
Thank you, Ashwini, for the wonderful introduction, and I thank management of the college for having me here. The previous speaker, Mr. Brandon, has covered all the fundamentals of why you should do BBA and what are the different opportunities that you have after doing BBA. I hope I'm audible, if someone can confirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So I will focus more on my journey because, all of you, I was also, I was in a state of dilemma whether to join BBA or no after my completion of 12th. So I actually enrolled myself for a day, just a day in Damodar College for BCom because the BBA results were getting delayed and I had not got opportunity admission at that moment. So I came and I appeared for one day as a BCom student, and then I got opportunity in BBA course. I got enrolled in the Rosary College. At that time, Damodar College was not having this course. I joined as a BBA, and from there I will talk about my career path, what happened to me after doing this course. So after 3 years BBA, I specialized in HR as a major subject, and after that I was fortunate enough in getting placed in campus, and I got placed in a company that is a pharmaceutical company called Cipla. So I was responsible for 3 manufacturing units over there. And as Mr. Brandon said, when you join initially at the inception stage, you join as a fresher, you join as an executive or officer level category. So it was more of a generalist role wherein I had to handle all these generalist activities. And after a point of time, I had a thing in mind that I wanted to do MBA. So very, very important to decide right at the first level when you enroll yourself for this course whether you want to join and whether you want to do your MBA or no. That is very important because BBA course is curated for you to take up any business opportunity or to start something of your own. So that is why the course was curated, and that was the intention why actually I joined this course. But I got the opportunity in working for Cipla, so that was through my campus, and I joined Cipla, worked there for about a year, and then I moved. I enrolled myself for an MBA program in Goa University. Again, the specialization was in HR, and again after MBA, I was fortunate enough in getting a campus placement. I was placed in a company which is an MNC company called as Vedanta Limited, and I was assigned Goa region. So where along with the generalist profile, I had to work on a lot of specialist areas of HR. Like if I have to brief on the HR, different verticals which are there in HR, there is something called as talent management, there is talent acquisition, wherein you do a lot of hiring on the talent acquisition. There is learning and development, there is career development, and a lot of other activities. So I got the exposure in HR after in my stint in Vedanta. Worked there about for 2.5, almost close to 3 years, and I got an opportunity in IFB Industries, where I was responsible for 2 manufacturing plants and manufacturers of white good that is your refrigerators, ACs, and washing machine. Worked there for about 5 years as a capacity of deputy manager, and I've recently joined HFCL Limited, which is a telecom company and manufacturers of fiber optic cables. So this is about my career. Little bit about BBA as a course. As I initially mentioned, and as the previous speaker has already discussed, it is very important to decide right at the start whether you want to pursue your MBA, whether there is a need for MBA or no after completion of BBA. Because BBA as a course is curated for you to make you a management graduate to take up an assignment on your own, to start something of your own. Because here the coverage of the subjects are right from finance to HR to marketing, operations, and the same kinds of subject or jobs are available when you move out from your BBA. So a little about the prospects, since the today's topic is different opportunities or prospects available after doing this course. Is broadly, if I talk about, there are 4 verticals. Okay, operations, human resource, finance, and marketing. So under operations, you can, since this is actually a growing area in Goa, to be specific, in India, a lot of job opportunities with respect to supply chain, logistics, more into the operation handling of plant. So there are a lot of jobs which are there present in this particular vertical, wherein right from your stores, logistics, purchasing level, to more of a supply chain expert, strategic sourcing, vendor development. So there are a lot of jobs in this particular area of operations. Coming to HR, as I already mentioned, there are different verticals in HR, right from your talent acquisition to talent management. Then comes career development, competency mapping, learning development. This is about HR. Coming to finance, Mr. Brandon has already touched about the finance, but in terms of industry, if you're looking for a job in Goa or in India, working for a manufacturing company or a consultancy firm, then typical opportunities in finance would be more of an entry level positions in departments like finance, data analytics. Okay, that could be the initial jobs that you can target for. And marketing, there are plenty of verticals, but unfortunately, there are very few options available if you want to stay in Goa. The most of the students or most of the jobs that are provided immediately after graduation are of sales. That is more of a sales representative jobs. But if you're really lucky enough, you can get opportunities in marketing that is more into branding, pricing, promotion, advertising. E-commerce is booming right now, so there are a lot of companies which are coming in Goa and setting up their ecosystem for e-commerce and related jobs. Then comes social media marketing. So there are business firms available, and they need a partner who can help them in developing their social reach or social market. So that is how there are different opportunities available in marketing itself. To talk about BBA as a course, Damodar College, no doubt, is a very good course, a good college. And BBA course will develop you to become a manager right after the completion of the course. It will help you to understand the fundamentals of management. So that is the significance of this course. And in industry, there are plenty of opportunities available. So like always, when there is a comparison between a BCom graduate and a BBA graduate, BBA graduate is preferred by the industry, and there is no second thought about it. Only because all kinds of topics and subjects are covered in BBA. BCom is more of a restricted course. So I would like to end this conversation. I'm open for questions by saying this: BBA is a wonderful course, and you have to make your mind very clear right at the start whether you actually need any post graduation after this course. If not, why? If yes, why? So that you have to make it, make yourself very clear at the start. And MBA is just for your career progression. After completion of BBA, normally industries prefer candidates or employees who are having MBA degree, so that they can be promoted and promoted to higher ranks. So that is the only benefit. And in terms of your compensation, there is very a positive impact if you have a MBA degree. So that is the only difference. But BBA, after completion of BBA, you are self-dependent and you can take up any assignments on your own. So that is what I want to say. And Damodar College is a wonderful college, so you shouldn't miss out the opportunity. Thank you. Ashwini, Omkar, if you...
Yeah, thank you, Varun, for your valuable insights. I'm pretty sure the students will be very happy to have this feedback from industry experts as well as some guidance from the industry itself. I would request students to type in their queries, any questions if they have in the chat box here, or they can also turn on their mic and speak here and address the two guests that we have here today with their question.
I'm seeing a question over here. Goa, there is no MBA, so there are so many MBA colleges available in Goa. So I'm not very clear with the question. If you can elaborate, Sarvesh S.
So,
If you can
Sarvesh,
elaborate.
I think you're saying where did you do your MBA? So for me, I did my MBA from this college called TAPI Management Institute, which is in Manipal. So if you're looking for an MBA, you have to answer this exam called CAT. So ensure you answer it well, and like above 90% is something percentile is what you need to look at. And like a college like GIM or above, like GIM, TAPNI, these are all the same level, and then there's the IIMs and the higher level. So look at those colleges if you're doing your MBA, because the package that they get over there is pretty good, and the education that you get over there is pretty good. I can see Urja saying CLAT, CAT or CLAT, CAT.
I think it is CAT, yeah.
Yeah. So there are many colleges, there are many exams to do your MBA, but CAT is the one which is accepted across. In addition, there are other exams like ZAC that is only accepted by Xavier's, but also there are some other institutes that also accept ZAC. So when you want to go for a particular college, you look at first of all where you want to do. If you want to do a specialization in HR, then there are the top colleges over there. Then XLRI is the best HR college. If you want to do your in finance, if you want to do in operations, then I can't remember the name, but there's another operations college is the best. Then look at which domain. Firstly, look at which domain you want to get into. Then look at from the domain which are the top colleges. Then which of the top colleges, which exams do they want? Because there is CAT, there is ZAC, there is SNAP, which is only for symbiosis. There is CMAT, which is for smaller colleges. They take CMAT. So there are so many exams. So look at your specialization which you want to take. Then look at which colleges are the best in that specialization. Then look at which college, the college you want to get into, which exams do they take. Yeah, that's how you can go about it. Yeah, I can see Neil's question. Can a general BBA and a CFA be done? Yes, definitely. The CFA does not need you to have a BBA in finance. The CFA just needs you to have a bachelor's.
Prachi Sinbal, to address your question, are there job placements after BBA through college? Yes, the college has a very robust placement cell wherein we have various companies, over 30 companies actually, coming into the college and recruiting students from different courses that includes BBA and BBA financial services. So yes, there is a placement opportunity after the BBA course from the college itself.
So what would be a better option for someone who's looking to be an entrepreneur and do a startup or something?
Probably Brendan or Varun can take this question up.
Yeah,
You mean to say, yeah. So basically, I'm not very clear with the question. Are you asking what kind of course would be more appropriate for
BBA, normal BBA or BBA in finance would help for a person who is planning to become an entrepreneur and start his own business or something.
Got it. So to answer your question, I think BBA general would be most appropriate course for starting, or if you want to start something of your own, or support
No,
some business.
sorry to interrupt. I did not
Yeah,
get BBA in
BBA,
finance.
BBA.
Normal,
No, general BBA, normal BBA.
general BBL. Okay.
Yeah, right. Because you have different verticals which are there in general BBA, which will prepare you as a student for taking up any opportunity. Okay, BBA finance is also equally good, but if you ask me personally, BBA general and BBA should be sufficient enough for you to take up a, for you to start as an entrepreneur.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you, sir.
Sheetal, adding to whatever you said, I think if you want to do your entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur, I think it's a very good dream to have. First of all, I have done it myself, but it's a very tough journey because every day is a new day. It's every day you need to get sales. But if you have an idea and you want to do something about it, the BBA is a very good course, not the finance, a normal BBA, because you get the entire landscape of, because a company would have HR, operations, marketing, and finance. So just understanding one domain is not enough if you want to start your company. So once you get your entire, if you understand everything, that will be best. But I would encourage you to at least start off small. When you're doing your BBA also, so that you can always approach your teachers, your faculty, if you have any questions around your business, and it will come. Your BBA will come more to life if you start off a little bit into this journey of whatever you want to plan to do during your BBA itself.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
So I can see a question from Sanchita. How do you manage? Should you start CAT in the first year? What I would suggest is not in the first year itself. CAT is a very simple exam. Okay, it just has English and it has math and it has logical reasoning. I mean, that is what you studied in your 10th standard, right? The only issue with CAT is that it's a simple course, but they reduce the time so much that it becomes very difficult. So it's not a very difficult course to do at all you need to do is have practice in a limited time span, because what they want to do with, why do they, for managerial position, like when you do an MBA you become a manager. To become a manager, why do they give a simple math and English exam, right? You have to do a better exam than that. But why they do that is because they give you something where you can, like when you become a manager, you have to optimize your resources. You have limited resources. You have to get the best outcome with the limited resources. And that is what they want to test, whether you can do that. And that's why in the exam, they give you easy questions. They give you questions and they give you very less time. They put very hard questions in between to see whether you know how to skip those questions, right? So actually, the only skill, like what you can do, what I would suggest, if you're planning to get into one of the top MBA colleges and you're doing this course, you can easily manage preparing for MBA also. What I would have done if I was you, if I'm sure that I want to do my MBA from an IIM, in the first year, I would just understand that I would start studying, but just understand, like there's a book called Sarvesh Verma for math. I would just do that book end to end in the first year. Second year, I would start answering mock exams. And second year end, I would answer my exam, the actual CAT exam, so that I can just get a feel of it. And at the end of the third year, I think you can actually answer the exam. That is something which I would do if I was sure. Like what I did in my personal journey is during my final year of my engineering, during the end of the third year, I started studying for my CAT exam. And at the end of the fourth year, I gave my CAT exam, but I got about 78 percentile. And then I took a drop year. I didn't take a drop year actually. I was supposed to start with the company, but before I started, I answered and I got about 90 percentile, and then I started. So if you can start now itself, just understand the entire syllabus, and then the next year just answer mocks, because answering mocks is the main thing, because how you perform in that limited time frame is the main thing. So answering the mocks in the second and third year would be the best thing to do.
Just to add to Brandon, it all depends on which target college you are looking for. Because if you are looking for IIMs or XLRI, then the cutoff percentage is quite high. So you have to prepare more rigorously. You have to start a year before. If you are looking for a more of a local college, then you can work in the last year itself. So it's all depends on the targeted college and the which entrance exam looking for.
Yeah, there are like in an MBA, there are four specializations that are usually there. There is marketing, there is operations, there is HR, there is finance, and now there is even IT. So you if you look at the top college in HR is XLRI. So if you get into XLRI in HR, you are the creme de la creme, like they call it in HR. But there are also other HR in every MBA college. They will have an HR for sure. So if you want to, question by Sinale Fernandez, do I have to do an MBA course to be a human? Yes, you can. I mean, you can definitely you can do an MBA in HR, and that would make you set you apart. Yeah, which book, Sanchita, which book? It's called Sarvesh Verma, Quantum Cat, it is called. That's what I did. If you do that book very well, you're the master at. But see, what happens is now, maths is very easy. It's just that they put difficult questions in between to see whether you are smart enough to leave those questions. Actually, I remember in one CAT paper, I don't know which year it was, but only if you answer like out of 30 questions, if you just answer 10 questions right, you were 99 percentile. But many people, what they did is they wanted to get answer like almost 25 questions, so they got many wrong, and then they finally got only 3 questions right, because they have negative marking also. So you just need to know you need to know your syllabus thoroughly, and you should know how to skip questions. I think in my opinion, you don't need, like one person was asking which is the best coaching institution. In my opinion, you don't need any coaching. If you like in anything, even the CFA, I didn't take any coaching. I just studied. You just need determination, hard work, and the right guidance. Like pick the right book, answer mocks. Like if you answer a mock exam, like answer a mock series, that is more than enough. Just study the book and answer the mock. You don't need coaching per se. Because there's always YouTube.
Okay, answering to Urja's question, which is the best college for MBA in Goa? So currently, if you compare, GIM is the best college for Goa with respect to MBA. So GIM is running two courses currently. That is, one is general MBA and second one is big data analytics. So both courses are having high applications, and even the placement ratio is quite well. So best colleges in Goa would be Goa University, GIM followed by Goa University.
Urja Pratap's question: out of the four main streams in MBA, which one would be the best? Uh, so see, what happens is now this is the question even which I had. Which would be the best in the sense that which would make you the most money? I'm sure that is the question. So which would make the most money? Actually, you should not do it that way. You should first understand yourself, which you like the best, and then do the one which you like the best. Because what happens is if you do the one which makes you the most money, but you don't like it, you'll actually be not a very good person in that job, and eventually you'll not make much money. Rather than, even if HR doesn't pay you very well, but you love HR, you start at a very low level, but you'll get promotion because you're really good, and you'll make much more money in the future. So don't look at which is best, look at which you like. So understanding yourself is a very important part. So whenever you're doing your BBA, understand, just keep introspecting as to what do you like and where do you want to go in the future.
Okay, we have a couple of questions from Snendan and Samruddhi. Both of them are asking which is better, BBA or BCom. So probably if we could take this question up here.
Yeah, Varun, would you like to take that?
Yeah. So both courses have their own merits and demerits, but as I mentioned earlier in my discussion, nowadays industry, if you have to take it in industry way, industries are preferring more of BBA students because they have overall knowledge of management over BCom. So in terms of industry, BBA is preferred. Brendan, if you want to add something.
Yeah, BBA is like it gives you the entire thing. Like BCom is like giving you just one aspect. But like I said, being a specialist is very good. But BCom is not really making you a specialist. It is better to be a generalist and then go very deep as a specialist rather than doing a BCom and just going little bit as a specialist. You better be a generalist and then go a deep specialist is what I do. So you can do this and then look at which finance and then go deep into that. Like even if you want to do other, like there are certifications for many other things. Like if you want to do a certification project management, there's something called uh, PIP, which is, so look at your domain and how to be the best in that domain. Because trust me, if you have a great skill, you'll get paid a lot of money.
Okay, answering to Sinhale Fernandez, is it better to do BBA or BBA FS? So, as I mentioned, I mean, I have already answered this question. BBA general, BBA would be better for you. I mean, if, FS would be more into financial, in finance. So, general BBA would help you to get better career prospects in HR.
Yeah, unless you know for sure you want to be in finance, it's better to just if you're 100% sure that you want finance and there's nothing else that you want to do, then do BBA in finance. BBA, a normal BBA will give you the entire thing to see which one you want to do. But if you're sure to be in finance, and BBA FS is a really good place to be. To go BBA, how to go. So Urja is saying, if I want to go out of Goa for BBA, how difficult would it be? Very costly. I'm not very sure how costly and everything it would be, but it's good to. I would suggest you do your BBA here itself, and then for a job you can definitely go out of Goa. If you're looking at more costly, I'm pretty sure that if you want to go to like a Bangalore, it would be more costly because not only would be there be college fees, but there also the standard of living is a little higher, right? Pooja is saying, if I do wish to go out, then I have to answer all of those entrance exams. I'm not like BBA. I'm not sure what exams each colleges will have. I'm not very sure. For MBA, it's like it's better to like each college. Like for example, GIM. Okay, GIM accepts CAT, ZAT. They accept even CMAT. But for CMAT, you have to be like 99 percentile. For CAT, you have to be 90 percentile. For ZAT, so various cutoffs for various. So you look at which college you want to go to. Like for example, you want to go to GIM, then any of these three exams they take. So you ensure that you study all the syllabus for these three exams. The exams are a little different from each other. Like the CMAT is easier, but there are many questions you answer. You have to be very fast, But whereas the CAT, you don't have to be really fast. You need to be very good in terms of you need to not answer questions which are trick questions, and the questions are a little bit harder. So you have to see which college, see which exam for that college, and then answer. Yes, you have to do your research well. So very important at this stage in your life. Very important at this stage in your life. You'll have to do a lot of exploration. Try different things. Like that's why BBA is a very good course because it gives you that freedom. To do whatever you want. Like you can do an internship in a different company in a company which you like to. You get a taste of the internship. You like what I suggest and what I will also do with my kids is to ensure that they get a taste of everything in life, and then they can, after tasting everything, they get to see which one they want to go forward and become the best at it. And I think the BBA is giving you that opportunity. You can see everything, but what happens usually to students, they think of BBA, let's just have fun, let's just go party and waste our time, and that is where at the end of it you don't know what you like and you just go with the flow, and that is some mistake that you do. So very important, do the BBA with a lot of rigor and try to understanding yourself so that you can become specialist in one domain.
Okay, so that was a very comprehensive discussion on the career prospects for BBA and BBA General. So I would request students, if they have any more queries, to type in the chat box or turn on their mic and list them down here. So we will be winding up soon with the queries.
So I would like to know what about the third year BBA? It has that same pattern of BCom, that boards, TY BCom boards. So same pattern is followed for BBA third year. What about the exams? How it goes?
The exams for BBA will be different from a BCom. They do not follow the same pattern. However, the structure of the question paper, marks distribution, etc., will be the same. But the BBA exams are conducted at the college level, unlike BCom exams.
Okay. Thank you.
I think Mark has a question. Can we do CME? I think the CMA that you're talking about is the management accountant, right? I think you can do whatever you want at the side. It's up to you. Certified management accountant, you can do any course, CFA, whatever at the side, as long as you pass your BBA exams also. That would be important.
I mean, even after completion of BBA, you can even do your LLB, or you can even apply for CA. I mean, go for CA. So all kinds of careers and education is open for you. So
Okay, if we do not have any more questions, I think it is safe to say we can wind up with the discussion here. Is there anyone yet who is wanting to ask a question? Okay, so I take that as a no. So I think we can now safely say that we have comprehensively answered all the questions that our students had in their mind initially. So with that, we can come to an end of this session, and I would really like to thank our guests for the session, Mr. Brendan and Mr. Varun, for giving us their valuable time and helping our students to clarify whatever doubts they had. Okay, it was a great interaction with the students, and I wish all the students a best of luck. And again, a very big thank you to both the guests for being a part of this session.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thanks a
Thank you,
lot. Thanks a lot.
students. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, students, you all are free to leave the call now. We have come to an end of this session. Thank you.